All right. So, as you all know, Chelsey and I are your trusty review queens. We bring you reviews from the internet.
We dissect the nitty gritty.
And then we rate them on a scale from 1 to 5 crowns. It is a very regal process called
Assess that kvetch.
All right. So, who goes first today?
Wait, Queen, did you know that today is another special edition episode? I just channeled Oprah so hard.
That means that today, Chelsey and I are both covering a 1 and a 5-star review on the same top.
I love all these abbreviations that you come up with. I hope people listening to them appreciate them as much as I do. Okay, that's right. For this versus episode, I selected the 1-star and Trey selected the 5-star review. So to determine who reads first, we're going to flip that quarter and we'll announce the winner. So I think the last time I called in the air.
All right, so I'm going to say tails.
Called in there. You said tails.
Oh my God, it is tails.
It's tails. Okay, so this is unusual because now I actually like that you won. I was hoping you would.
Oh, good.
We're going to get to hear the 5-star review before we hear the 1-star review, which we've never done before.
I'm really glad that you are glad about this because instantly when I saw that it was tails, I felt regretful that I won. So I'm glad that you're glad.
Oh, I'm thrilled. I think I'm very curious what happens when we do this in reverse, because why not start with the positive and go from there? So
and end on the horrifying. All right, girl. Well, I'm ready to review that review. How about you?
Do it. I am so ready.
Review that review.
All right. So today, Chelsey, Donn, and Trey Gerrald have chosen to cover a place in Los Angeles. It is called Cryo Healthcare.
Yes.
And I am going to read you this 5-star review from Alessandra D.
Okay.
And this is from Yelp. Okay. So this review was written on April 28th, 2017.
Okay.
Update, May 6th, 2017. It's now been 2 weeks since my accident with my hand, and I am astounded.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that tickled me too. Okay. Oh, I'm in a silly mood. Okay. Okay.
I can't look at you. It's not that funny. It's not
okay,
funny.
Okay. Oh. Okay, here we go. All right.
We should honor Alessandra and her hand.
Yeah,
okay, I'm
why
sorry.
are we laughing at her?
I'm sorry. I'm not laughing.
She's the 5-star. Okay.
She's
okay.
She's
the 5-star. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I just have the giggles. It's not even about Alessandra Day. Okay.
Okay.
It's now been 2 weeks since my I'm in trouble. I can't do it. No, what am I gonna do?
Fine, you're gonna do it.
Okay.
Pretend like you're Meryl and go.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
It's now been 2 weeks since my accident with my hand. Oh no. Okay. I'm literally covering the screen so I can't see you. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, cover me.
Okay. Update. May 6th, 2017. It's now been 2 weeks since my accident with my hand. Oh no. And they're here right now, of course.
I don't know.
You can hear the dogs now, right?
Yeah.
Hunter's learning to bark and it's really annoying. This is going to be crazy content for the Patreon because we're releasing unedited full recordings for our Patreons. And
oh, God bless
this
us.
is going to be, it's just such a good first sentence. Oh, geez. Okay, let me open the door. Hold on.
Okay, yeah.
5 minutes later.
All right. So let's just get serious. This
Let's
is
try and answer. I'm gonna also channel Meryl.
okay.
I'm gonna be a really good scene partner, Trey.
Will you just like maybe will you mute at the just so I can get past
I'll
the
mute.
hand? I heard you snicker and it made me laugh.
Sorry. All right, I'm muting. I'm muting.
Okay. All right, and I've covered Chelsey, so I can't see her. Okay. So this is Alessandra D. This review was posted April 28th, 2017, and this is the beginning. Update. May 6th, 2017. It's now been 2. Why is this so funny? Okay. I just have to get, this is a long review. I have to get through it. Okay. It's now been 2 weeks since my accident with my hand, and I am astounded by how much better I am. I have continued going to get the local cryotherapy concentrated on my hand, and the swelling continues to go down, and my mobility and ability to bend my fingers increase. Thank God. The last 2 times they tried a new machine on me in addition to the cryo, and that seems to be helping as well. It's called Saluma. Parentheses, no clue how to spell it. It's like this light therapy that has healing agents. And I've noticed when I do the right sorry, will you unmute? Because now I feel like I've like punished you. I want to hear you like responding. Okay, sorry.
Okay, yes, I'm unmuted.
And I also stopped because I messed up. Okay.
Okay.
It's like this light therapy that has healing agents. And I've noticed when I do that right after the cryo, it warms me back up. And the next morning, my hand feels a vast improvement. Smiley face. I am happy. I'm not done though. I still have a long road ahead of me. I'm not done though. Dash. I still have a long road ahead of me, but hopefully it will be shortened. Stay tuned. ... Enter. I never believed in quote unquote gimmicky type stuff, but man, has this place changed my life. I crushed my 2 fingers in a heavy car door. Oh no. Oh no, we've all been there, Alessandra. Oh no, here we go again. Okay.
I'm gonna mute.
Okay, Alessandra D, come on. I've literally done this, so it's okay. Okay. I never believed in quote unquote gimmicky type stuff, but man, has this place changed my life. I crushed my it's just the visual. I crushed my 2 fingers in a heavy car door last Saturday. The pain was unbearable and indescribable, as you can imagine. My fingers were swollen. Half. Oh, no. Whew. Oh no. Okay. No. Oh no. What is that? Okay. My fingers were swollen, half numb, half throbbing, and on there was to turning black. Oh. And on there was to turning black, purple, and blue. I went straight to the ER of Cedars Sinai Hospital, and they said the only thing that I can do ice it constantly and take painkillers. One of the doctors suggested I try cryotherapy. I gave it a shot. They basically told me that this localized cryotherapy machine that has a wand and concentrate on a specific body part will be like I have iced my hand for 24 hours that day, as opposed to 10 minutes with the machine. After my first visit, After my first visit, the swelling subsided and I felt a bit better. After my second treatment, I took my splint off. The swelling is even less and I can move my fingers again. 5 exclamation marks. It's unreal. The cool air accelerated the healing process so much. I am in awe. And when I went to, they suggested that I try this other machine called the Beamer or Beamer. And it looks like a padded yoga mat that has an electromagnetic field that is supposed to improve circulation and help heal the body and bruising. All I have to say is, wow. Not sure which one did which, or if the combo of the two machines did the trick, but my finger is so much better after only 2 visits. I am going to continue and see how quickly I can finish the recovery process. The hand specialist who saw me yesterday and last sat the day of the accident was shocked at my progress. Woo-hoo! Enter. Unrelated dash. And I decided to get a B12 shot just to try it. Dash. I didn't feel a think in my butt cheek. And I had a crazy amount of energy. Dash. Loved it. Smiley face. I've never had such a hard time getting through a review. Wow, there were a lot of misspellings randomly.
Yes. I noticed that. And first of all, I'd like to say, I'm sorry, Alessandra, that I was laughing. Like, I actually really, really feel your pain. I have an injury in one of my fingers. I think I might have even talked about it on a previous episode where it's like, it's just hurt so bad. So now after hearing this, like, I honestly might be inspired to go over to cryotherapy because if it helps, I mean, yes.
I do also just want to say, I felt myself turning into a Valley girl and reading that. I think maybe from the like woohoo and the smiley face. But I actually picked this review because I am a person who has no idea what cryotherapy is. And I appreciated that Alessandra D is coming from a place of like, I don't know what this is, but oh my God, is it helping? So I just want to clarify, like, I'm not meaning to poke fun at them in this interpretation that I gave because they are as clueless about it as I am. So it is funny to me that that Alessandra D says that the pain was unbearable and indescribable, but then continues to try to describe it.
I know, it was funny. I don't know why, like, I got this feeling when you were reading it. It felt very like diary entry to me, especially when we got to the point where she was like, I am happy, I'm not through though, you know what I mean? Like, it just seemed like something I would have like written to myself in a diary.
Mean, it feels to me like Alessandra D is my girlfriend. We're at brunch, she like has her hand up because you can't lay it flat or else the circulation doesn't work. True. And we have mimosas and she's like, Trey, you have got to try this crazy thing. I know it's very LA, but like, girl, my hand is like recovering. This is crazy. Like, that's the feeling I have, you know? And she even says in her update, she ends the update with stay tuned, ... Like, it is a journal entry. She's like, this is her YouTube series of the progress.
Exactly. And then I had a question about that because I know that this was an updated review. So like, which part of it was updated? Like, we wrote that the first part, and then the second part that you were reading was opposite.
Yep. See, I tried to read it how it is presented here. So the update is just the very beginning about like the original review was, I never believed in gimmicky type stuff. And then the update was, hey, it's been 2 weeks and everything's great.
That makes sense. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. I think what sort of tickles me is that obviously Alessandra was having quite a few problems with spelling and grammar and that kind of stuff, but she kept referencing it back to herself. Like, she would write like Soluma, like no clue how to spell it, or like Beamer, which I'm assuming was like multiple spellings of that word. So I feel like Alessandra like was just someone in school that didn't do great on the spelling. So she wanted to be like, I know it might be wrong, but like you get it. You get what I'm saying.
Well, that's also funny to me because it's like you're writing this on the internet, so you could probably Google Selena.
It's
Do
maybe
you
she's
want to?
typing it on her phone, and also like her hand is,
Oh, that's true,
so
right? She only has one functioning hand.
she
Wait,
only has one
so
functioning hand.
do you want to guess the two different ways that Alessandra D spelled Beamer?
Yeah, I can. I would like to guess. So I'm gonna guess one way was Beemer, and then the second
Yes.
way was Beamer.
No. So the first one is yes,
Oh,
but then the
okay.
parenthetical is Bemer.
Bemer.
Yep.
Okay. Mhm. Okay. Well,
I will tell you that this review, I find to be incredibly valuable. This is like, I think Alessandra D has spoken to me because I literally don't know what cryotherapy is. So I do feel like I am relating to Alessandra in this review because Alessandra's like, I don't like gimmicky stuff. I get that everything becomes a fad and it's sort of like, what's really helping? You know, it's like wheat bread is better. And then it's suddenly like wheat
right.
bread isn't better and like whatever. So I appreciate that. I actually appreciate that it is a journal entry.
Mhm.
And also like, I think it's hilarious and entertaining that it ends with, this is unrelated, but I did get a B12 shot. I felt
Right.
nothing in my butt. But I
Yeah.
have a lot of energy because I've considered getting a B12 shot and I haven't. But that also was a misspelling. It says I didn't feel a think,
Yes, I heard the think.
a K instead of a G.
Yes, I did notice that. Yeah, I appreciated that Alessandra explains sorry, wow. I appreciated that Alessandra explained several of the machines to us. I felt like through her experience, I like, even when I first looked this up, I didn't realize that there was going to be multiple machines. I thought it was just going to be traditional cryotherapy, which I've always imagined to, you just like walk into this, I don't know,
Freezer.
like freezer. Good way of putting it. You walk into a freezer that your head sticks out of, and that's it. And I liked knowing that this place had a localized option for cryo, which feels excuse me, which feels a lot more tolerable. So if I was somebody like, I mean, I am somebody who is sort of afraid to do cryo because I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'd want to be in a torture chamber for that long. I don't like being cold. That's why I moved to California. Like, if I was having these fears and I read this review, I might think like, oh, it's not just the image of what I thought it was. It can be so many other things. And it seems like this particular place, they do use different modalities and they have the B12 as well. So it seems like more of a holistic approach than just we just rent out these machines and that's it.
And how I received that information was I'm going to want to purchase add-ons. If I am buying a half-hour slot to do this cryotherapy machine, they're going to be like, oh, we have these add-ons, like you can do this machine or this machine. So like go in expecting that I'm going to probably be enticed to drop a little more money. Like when you go to a nail salon and they're like, oh, do you want to do the charcoal bath for your feet? And you're like, well,
or they're like,
no.
do you want to do the callus remover? And you're like, no. And then they look at you like, you want to just leave that on there?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I guess yes, callus remover.
So do you think that, do you think Alessandro is like a planted review? Do you think this is like a relative of the owner, or do you think this is real?
I think if it were a relative, I mean, I know we usually take points away for spelling and grammar, and I still might, but I feel like if this were a relative or somebody involved, they would have like passed it around.
That is so astute. Oh my God. I totally agree with you with that.
Right? Like it's like it was unpolished in a way that feels authentic.
Yeah. And there does seem to be a lack of self-awareness to like a delightful area with Alessandra D. Like I get a totally bubbly sensibility about them and their comfortability with being authentic about like, I was ignorant to this, but oh my gosh, it's helping and I'll keep you updated. Like,
yeah, and I
can
can
see truthful.
I can see someone like if they experience something painful, and like we said, we were kind of laughing because I don't know, we have the giggles, but like everybody has had that experience, or so many of us have had that experience where we close the car on our hand and oh, it's the worst. And like, I'm literally still dealing with pain right now from repeatedly doing that over and over again. So I think it's very relatable. And I can see that Alessandra would be a real person that's like, oh my God, I found something that fixes an issue that maybe other people have. And so I'm empowered to tell people about it.
I agree.
Okay.
I mean, the humor
Was there
here.
anything specific in Alessandra's review about any of the therapists that she worked with or anything like that? Did she speak, other than giving us the examples of the machines, did she talk about
She didn't know.
or
I'm
cost
wondering.
or
I'm wondering if
anything
this is
like
a
that?
leading question for the 1-star. I'm curious, but no, there is nothing said about anyone specifically at the location.
Okay. Or like cost or anything like that. They didn't comment on.
No, but it does occur to me that Alessandra D like had a high bill.
Like you're saying that with just doing mathematics right now between you and I, all the services that she's getting seem like they're expensive.
And she's getting, and that Alessandra is getting so many of them.
Right. Right. Okay. So it doesn't seem like the financial aspect is as big of a you know, a concern for Alessandra because she's
Or
so happy to be able to have something to help her.
either finances aren't that much of an issue, or it's like this is literally her health. This is literally
Right.
Alessandra's health and
There's no
wellness.
price. There's no
right.
price tag.
Because it does seem, at least in this 2-week span of the update, that it
Mhm.
really is shortening the recovery period, which was
Yeah, even-
referred to her by a doctor.
Yeah, even the hand specialist was like, wow, this is amazing. So
Right.
I think Alessandra did a good job. I feel like I'm ready to crown. How about you?
Yes, I want to say the humor level of this,
Yes.
I literally thought nothing would ever top your review.
Yeah, I know.
But
the gigantic
this,
ball.
but I think that I just think that the first starting a review with, it's now been 2 weeks since my accident, is like, it's just like, it sounds like a soap, like it's just so delectable.
Yeah.
That I can't,
agree.
it's just, it makes me giggle.
Same,
Oh,
obviously.
my word.
But I don't know. I don't know if that's just like us, like that we thought that was funny, but either way, thoroughly entertained by Alessandra.
Yes, and I will say, like, I think like the impact of Alessandra's review is that it's just someone else that is sort of saying that this is helpful. I have the experience of this helping me. So if you feel like it's a gimmick, consider that it's not, like I am. And so it makes me feel like when I go and visit you in LA, I want to go and try this.
I think we should definitely go.
All right.
Not an ad.
Not an ad. You ready to crown?
I'm ready.
Okay. So Chelsey and I each have our own set of 1 to 12. What? Okay. So Chelsey and I each have our own set of 1 to 5 crown cards. And in an effort to be fair and not influenced by one another, we will simultaneously reveal our rating.
The queens are tabulating.
How do I want to do this?
All right. Are you ready, Trey?
Oh. Yeah, I think I'm ready.
You're ready. Okay.
Yeah. You?
I'm ready. Yes, okay. I'm ready.
Total score.
Okay. So I'm holding up 4 crowns and Trey is holding up 4.5 crowns, which I also was tempted to do the half crown. So I understand the impulse, but I'll let you go first. Tell us why you gave 4.5 crowns.
Well, I part of this is unfair, but I do want to reserve the 5 for like outrageous ones. Yes. And but you know, so I'm giving 4.5 to Alessandra D because it really told a story. It really was entertaining. I really felt like Alessandra D put me in their shoes. And so therefore I did find it to be authentic and truthful. I do believe that it is a real person, just from their shock and dismay. And it actually makes me want to go. Like, I don't know that I would ever desire going into a freezing cold place, but Alessandra D has sold me. And so I gave Alessandra D's 5-star review 4.5 crowns.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think that's totally fair. I gave 4 for a similar reason. I love when reviewers really can put me in their shoes and take me through their experience. And Trey is not able to get a straw into his mouth. Put me in their experience and let me empathize with what they're going through and see how this really impacted them in a very personal way. And I think that Alessandra did a very good job of letting us into her world in almost a diary-like fashion. And I, of course, I got to knock some points off for spelling and grammar. And I know, like, sometimes listening, it's like, why do you do that? The way that I factor in spelling and grammar as a review queen is when you're reading something and there are a couple words that are off or things like that, I have to read it again to really understand it. So that takes a little bit more of my time just to have to understand what you are saying. So for that, I, of course, could not give Alessandra D the full 5 crowns. But other than that, I mean, if I were Alessandra D's grandmother, I think I would hang this on my fridge because I'm thrilled that she's doing better. I'm cavilling that she's sharing her experience with other people that might also benefit from this. So Alessandra D, in my opinion, 4 crowns.
Great. I love it. Thank you, Alessandra D, for your perspective on cryo healthcare. One word.
Okay, so let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we will hear an entirely different side of the story, which I can't wait to share.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm excited. All right. BRBZ.
Baby, it's time to